SEO, SEO. Rank it up. Your website gon' crank it up.
Hello. This is Erica. I'm super happy to be here today with you. Thank you for listening to my new podcast, the SEO Rank It Up podcast. So basically, when we look at SEO, there's on page and off page. And off page is really important as well. Off page is everything that happens pointing to your website. So off page is super important for traffic generation. However, on page is where kind of the rubber meets the road. So this is where your website positions itself to answer the questions of your audience. So I did a pretty good show about understanding your audience, and that was episode 4, I believe. So if you wanted to check out 104, first season number 4, that is a good one about audience. So basically, the first thing that you need to do, and I'm just going to kind of walk through how to optimize your page, because why not, right? So you want to first kind of look at what does Google use to judge you? how do they categorize you? So they're going to look at density, relevance, how often your words show up on the page, and how well you answer the question that person typed in the query. You want to use your main target keyword in the first paragraph. If gracefully you can have it be the first word, that's also really good. So, for example, if I was optimizing a page about on-site SEO, I might do a headline, how to understand on-site SEO, and then start the paragraph. On-site SEO can best be explained by blah blah blah. You want to put titles and subtitles in H1 and H2 tags. And what's really interesting is a long time ago, back in the day, when I worked for newspapers, I was a news reporter, and every once in a while I'd have to go in and help with production. And so what we used to do is we would type in our headline, and then we'd punch a button and it would print out, and there'd be this big black headline, and it would come out sticky with like wax, and we'd stick it to the page. And that's how we would actually do headlines back in the day. So H1 refers to the size. H1 is the biggest. H2 is next. Even an H4 tag as a sub is better than not. So tags are seen as they're like weighted higher for relevance. So take advantage of good headlines and subheadlines. So just a little word about on-page SEO. What I like to do is I try to teach even with the headlines. So if they only read the headlines on your page, they're leaving with some bit of something. So I actually try to have meaningful headlines if possible. How cool is that? So yay. So on page also refers to the content, and then the domain name, how you've named the page. So for instance, I did a blog about best free keyword research tools. So it goes seoforleadgen.com/best keyword research tools, connected by dashes. And that's, or separated by dashes, connected, separated, maybe the same thing. Now we want to look at our meta descriptions. So when you put a web link, if you type it in to, say, a place where it's gonna link from, like you're on Facebook and you put down, hey, if you want my free keyword search tool, go here. When you put that in, usually you'll get a 1 to 2 sentence description. That's usually the meta description, and that's going to tell Google what exactly your page is about. So if you don't intentionally set your meta, then you might end up with some goofball thing they've found on the page that they like. So yeah, that's pretty cool. As far as your on-page content, I had a recent show about how long to make your content, but basically you want to outcreate and outperform all your competitors. On page also includes image optimization. And yeah, gosh, I did a 15-minute show about images because I feel so strongly about optimizing images. It's such low-hanging fruit, honestly. You just can add, there's so many places. You can first name it before you upload it. Then you can name it in the alt text. You can name it in the title. You can name it in the caption. And of course, there's the image itself. So these are 6 powerful ways an image can help your on-page SEO, which is just flipping amazing. And then you want to look at user engagement. So what are you doing on your page to keep people there? That's super important. Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's look a little bit at Google search and the word algorithm, which gets people so freaked out. Google's actually looking at the content. It wants the content to match the question. So what you want to do is make sure that your content matches the query, the searches. So yeah, as you build your authority, as you get known more and more for being a really good provider of good content, then there's a little word coming up called domain authority, and that's going to go up as you keep deepening your mastery and get seen as being the authority in your topic. Yeah, so that's kind of an overview of what the on-page SEO looks like. There are some tools. Yoast is a tool, and Rank Math is a tool for improving sort of your metadata. It gives you like how long each little bit of metadata should be, how long your headline should be, and it gives you kind of a ranking. Rank Math gives you like a ranking of how well your page is doing what it's supposed to do, how well your content matches your keywords, and maybe it points out some opportunities that you might have missed to better define yourself so that Google can find you. And one of the biggest problems that I see when I'm helping people get their websites to generate more organic traffic is that they don't tell Google who they are, or they've tried, but Google's not seeing it. So that's when it helps to kind of put in possibly a tool like Rank Math or Yoast, and that's Yoast. And yeah, so maybe this is helpful. Just kind of a little overview blanket of what on-page SEO means and how you can improve yours, of course, so you can get more traffic and have more business. So this is Erica Glessing, and I'm your host of SEO Rank It Up podcast. And if you like the music, you can find that musician at Heavy Hooks 31 on social media. He's just the bomb, and I love his music. I came up with the concept, and then he just let it fly. So big shout out to Heavy.
That's all it takes. Yeah. SEO. SEO. Yeah. Crank it up. Your website gon' rank it up. More customers coming into ya, more money in your business flow. Crank it up. Your website gon' rank